Hello everyone and welcome to the General's Quarters. Please be seated. Before we begin, I would like to say thank you to Benjamin Lee for this wonderful list. It was real fun. Alright, Ben, you did a great job. And even though Ben over there thought he could take out Nebulons with no problem, you made him think twice. But after you made me think twice too, to be honest. Nebulons with their side arc, I was a little bit worried when I saw 3-star destroyers coming at me, okay? And I think everybody said that in the comments. You can see it, they're like, that is intimidating, yeah. Which of the ships are meant to be built like? But the Nebulon that died first did do its job, and I will explain that. So, the Nebulon, right here, use Nebulon B, we're going to call this one, the one that was marked that died, right here, as you can see, only has advanced armament on it. Now, just like Benjamin told me, sorry, he said that he put it on here to give me the extra red die to include with Ackbar's 2 red dice. So that would give me at least 3 right there. Sorry, 4. I can add. Mathing on this channel seems to be hard for some reason. So it would be giving me 4 dice coming up the side, which is great. That's beautiful. And so I looked at this, and when I looked at deployment, I thought maybe I can get one Nebulon around the side. And if I get him around the side and come up the back, yes, he'd be away from home 1 until at the end, when he'd be close enough and start hitting the rear of the whichever quad was coming, so that he needed to hit. So that's why I started him over there. Second of all, Ben wanted to kill one of the Nebulons. Now Ben has a wonderful respect and hatred, we'll say, for the Nebulons. Nebulons have become his bane, just so everybody knows. And not just in this match, and in various matches throughout the time you've seen us. And for some reason, he just doesn't understand. I don't know, something about it. He just can't do it. So they don't get one shot, and he knows they should. All right. So now basically, there's a challenge put out to Ben, I'm sure, to kill off Nebulons. And now watch, Ben's gonna be killing them left and right, and well, there goes my wild card. But anyways. So when I knew that he would go after one of the Nebulons, I wanted this Nebulon, the one that passed away, I can't remember if it was numbered or not, to go out and kind of lead his one quad away. That way it would give Ackbar and the other Nebulon just a little bit of a chance, a little extra turn maybe. So that's why they went further away. I didn't want to really say this, because I didn't want to give it away, especially in the beginning, when we talk about our tactics in the beginning, because I didn't want to give that away to Ben. I wanted him to see what he would do. And in a tournament, if I do bring this to a tournament, I want to see what other people would do. Ben is right. And when I say Ben, I'm talking about Don Salzit, not Benjamin Lee, sorry. Ben was right. 9 out of 10 times, this would not work. But this time it did work. And that's why I also put all the bombers and 1 X-Wing up there. I also put the 2 other X-Wings right by the Thrawn ship, because I wanted him to think a little bit. Alright? Because he knew those ships were going to come in the back. He took superior positions, and he knew they were going to get points. So I wanted him to think about it. Give him a little option. But that Nebulon came out, that quad comes out, and it is gunning for that Nebulon. I'll tell you, that round, when I took that Nebulon and skirted it right up on that end of that map, I was sweating, okay guys? Just moving that guy up there, keeping him on the board, I wasn't quite sure, but I did it. I was happy about that. And then the bombers did beautiful work. They did great. My dice were on fire, as you all saw. Whatever ritual I did, I hope I remember to do it again. So that we could do this again sometime. Yeah, the Nebula did die, yes, and I figured it would. Sorry, Benjamin. But I also wished I had put a squadron on it, a dial on it, because that way it could activate 2 of the bombers at a time. And maybe, now I don't know when I would have done this, and I don't know how much help his quad would have at the time. So, but I wanted to get as much damage in him as possible before the Nebulon fired. So, but I unfortunately had prepared other things, which engineering I believe was one of them, and navigating. So I was able to skirt around him, and of course his quad took a side shot, beautiful, got all the numbers he wanted perfectly, as Ben does, and just took it out. So those are my 2 main reasons why that Nebulon was going up along the side of the board, away from home 1. So there was a method to my madness. And I know everybody, and I agree, that should keep the ship's fleet together. So that way home 1 helps everyone. But by throwing it off a little bit, I want to be A, a flanker, or B, a distraction. That way he pulls off one of the quads. Luckily, he pulled off one of the quads. So, he might have died. Well, he did die. And it might not have worked. But I had a backup plan, like I said. That he would come around the back and start firing the back. The ISD's weapons in the back aren't as deadly as the front and side shots. So I knew I could do a lot of damage from the back, and the shields aren't that great. And since my squadrons want to get in there and do damage, so I can get those tokens, victory tokens, I want the Nebulon to help me get through those shields. And the more I waste of his shields, the better I'd be. Granted, Thrawn has his wonderful engineering dials that he kept giving everybody, and wow, all their shields are back up. But that's alright. That's part of Thrawn. I love of a challenge. But, so, basically, those are the 2 options that Nebulon had. And that Nebulon's option was chosen for it by the quad going after it. But it gave the squadrons enough time to get in and do their job. So that is why that Nebulon passed away. And I know everybody's been wondering about it and saying, all these, everybody's saying things, and Ben was too at the end, as you sort of think. But it's one of those things you gotta try. So I don't try the typical lists, if you guys ever noticed. I like to try things that are out of the box. And for that reason, I just like doing flanking. Ben could tell you, actually, this is a really good example of it, actually. In Battletech, Ben, Buster, and I were going against 2 other people. It was a team versus team. And I brought my Battle Master, for those who don't know, just considered a big mech, powerful mech, out, and the enemy came out and tried to attack from behind. Now Ben was going, "What are you doing? No, don't do that, no, no, no." And Buster saw what I was doing. The reason why I turned my back, I went sideways, by the way, to basically, let's say, the side of the board. And this guy's mech, I forget what it is off the top of my head, came running down, and he was like, "Yes, I got him right in the back. This is great. Easy shot, right? Yeah." The Battlemaster has a lot of armor back there. But not only that, it lined up a shot for Ben to put into the back of his mech, of the enemy's mech, which basically took it out. And Buster had seen that once I did it, and he went, "Ah." Ben was like, "What? I don't." And Ben wasn't quite sure, and Buster said, "Just watch." And just watch. And I said, "Yeah, Ben, look." And Ben looked, and he went, "Oh." And so that gave us a really big win in that game, because we took out one of the big mechs. That'd be like taking out MC-80 or ISD, if you guys were not familiar with the Battletech game. So anyways, I do things like that that may look wrong to do, or maybe look out of character to do, but it is there's a method to my madness. I'll just say that. So there'll be things I do like that. That's why you see things like I'll have my ships like the Nebulons or CR-90s fly up and around and out the sides and stuff like that. If I get better at moving them, maneuver, then yes, they could actually work really well. But we'll work on that later. So let's talk about the match in other ways. The MC-80 should have angled up probably a little bit more and went towards his quads a little bit. I was trying to keep it against the board because A, that's the board broadside that I want to shoot at him, and I would have my shields that I could keep moving around. So that was the main reason. Unfortunately, Ben has learned, and Sir Chicken over there knows this too, has learned that you have to hit the nose of the MC-80s. And by blocking them on the nose, you got it stuck. And then you can just unleash the Star Destroyer. Yeah, Star Destroyer. So, so I'm gonna blame Sir Chicken for giving Ben that idea. Sir Chicken can speak up later. But anyways, but so that was my deal, was to keep that going. The MC-75, man, guys, I played that wrong. I played that wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. Honestly, I don't know. After I deployed, and I'm looking at it, and Ben's putting down his ships, I'm looking at it going, yep, why did I do that? And then after I made my first couple movements, I was like, what are you doing, Rob? What are you doing? But unfortunately, you can't do take backs. So, anyway, so that it was stuck out there. The other Nebulon, which I did keep back with the MC-80, was what was in front of it. It went up and it was supposed to keep take on Thrawn, and it did do that. And it really hurt Thrawn bad. Thrawn, I think, had 4 health left. And if I'm wrong, well, Ben will probably put up something that will say how much health it did have left. But, and you guys will know, I've already seen the bat rep, will know too. But that Nebulon did fantastic, and I'll tell you, that Nebulon was something I always wanted. I always wanted to try this, was the Ackbar slash. And that's shooting out both sides. Hit the Kuat that was damaged, and it hit the Thrawn. And it was lovely. It was just moral victory for myself. Okay, guys? So, I should have, in my own personal belief, have him set up so he went the opposite direction. So he's going behind the MC-80 and going up and around to the Thrawn's. Hold on, let me direct myself and turn around here. Starboard side. So that way I'm wasting his shields on the starboard side. Ackbar is wasting shields on the front side, bow. And probably also wasting the shields on his port side. So that way he had a lot of shields going down. And then maybe having that one join up with the other Nebulon and doing some back attacks, some attacks from behind. So I'm really into flanking, in case anybody noticed. I like to do a lot of flank attacks. So both Nebulons, that was my plan. The squadrons I did, they worked out great. I mean, they were great. They're wonderful. The placement, I like the placement of them. People may disagree with me, but and if you do, great. Show me where, please. So, like I said, 2 of the X-Wings went up to the starboard side of the Thrawn's ship on the asteroid there, so in case he had any kind of flak, I know they're getting 1 die, if any. And then the others, the 3 bombers and the 1 X-Wing, went up on the other side to prepare themselves for his squad coming in. I don't really rely much, I have to say, after learning squadrons, how to maneuver them, on squad pushers as much. And I think Ben knows this more because he sees that I always put the squadrons at a certain point away from his ship that I'm targeting. That way, when it comes, most likely it's either going to be within range or he's going to run them over and I can put them wherever I want. So that's why I put those squadrons over there. The GR-75, and I learned this, and Ben and I talked about this throughout the thing. The GR-75 is Bomber Command Center, okay? I like Bomber Command, I really do like Bomber Command Center. But like I found out and Ben said, was that if you do 1 damage with a black die, leave it. Don't try to reroll, because as you saw, guys, I was rerolling those bombers, and I was getting blanks. So it would have been better if I left it with 1 point of damage. But again, they did their job. So they probably would have done a little quicker if I didn't do the rerolls. But I do like Bomber Command, because Bomber Command is good if I roll a blank. And then if I roll something, then okay, good. I roll whatever I roll after that is great. Unless it's a blank again, of course. So this fleet is good. I liked it. I enjoyed running it. There are some parts I wish I did differently. I like the snail idea. I really do like that idea. I'll get back to that in a minute. But the idea of getting him to get 1 quad to come after me instead of all 3 coming after Ackbar. Which, if you think about it, if all 3 came after Ackbar, he probably would have won the game by a greater margin. Now, he probably would have said, that's overkill. Well, you saw his dice that day. I think he needed all 3 of them. So, and you can't tell what dice are going to do. That's 157 points, that alone, right there. You can see the FC8. So we took all 3 quads and went that. Around. The Nebulons? Yes, they could have done some damage back, flanking and all that jazz. But he would have taken down Ackbar in no time. They would have lost 2 extra dice firing at them, and all that. Ben has some other, other tactics he does. So I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just saying I was kind of surprised, and I was happy at the same time. So that Nebulon really was a key player. Even though he's out of range of home 1, he was a key player. So he is my MVP of this game. And I'll tell you that piloting, I still can't believe that piloting. I did. But this was a fantastic idea. And it proved to me again how much I love Nebulons. And it probably proved to Ben how much he despises them in a way. Those evades are wonderful. They are wonderful. And they get 2 braces. So, I mean, they're pretty good ships. Mostly I run them towards, so they're facing the enemy ship, because the shields are 3 in the front. And I usually put auxiliary, what are they called? Auxiliary guys. The guys give 1 shield on one side, and you have to spend a engineering command to move another shield, and you have 2 shields on each side. So that way it will last a little longer. And then if I'm not engineering queued up later on, I can have another shield in the back if I need to. But anyways, so the enhanced armament Benjamin, I will tell you, I was a little worried when I started on both Nebulons. That's 20 points right there. And I was like, there's got to be a better way to use 20 points. But you proved me wrong, so I'm I'm definitely not going to, no, I'm not going to say anything about that. So it was great. Like I said, it was a great fleet to run. Now I will say again, and I did say this in the post interview, that I had to, actually I just in the preview interview, I did have to change one of Benjamin's navigational objectives. You can see superior positions here, but it was originally the infested fields. And the reason why I changed it from infested fields to superior positions was that A, Ben was not bringing any squadrons. Now remember, he did tell me what list he was bringing because he said it was going to be an overwhelming list. And Ben does that. Ben says, if I bring an overwhelming list, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. Otherwise, you won't know what's coming and deal with it your way. And that's fine. And I'm pretty cool with that. And if I did that to him, I would do the same. So that's how we play our friendly games. So when I heard he was playing with 3 quads coming in, I thought, infested fields is not going to do anything. He's going to run over him. He doesn't care. He's going to have engineering with Thrawn. I already knew that before Ben set it up. I mean, why would he put squadron on him, you know? So he's going to put engineering and navigation is most likely. So he probably just run over him. Oh, I ran over Ackbar. So what? You know, lose his shield. It's back. Maybe back next time, next turn. No big deal. But so I thought, okay, let's put superior positions on. That way, the X-wings and the Y-wings can get in there and do their job and get me some extra points. So, Benjamin, I'm sorry about that, but that's why I had to change that objective. So, which I think was a good change. And I know Ben would have taken it. I don't think he would have taken fighter ambush or advanced. Well, he definitely wouldn't take advanced gunnery. But I don't think he would have taken fighter ambush if he had infested fields in there. I really don't. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Again, and Benjamin, you too, by the way. You let me know what you think too. Alright, what do you think about how I played it? I saw some comments on there. I agree with the comments. I also, was waiting for this to come out so I could tell you why I did some of the things I did. So I didn't want to give it away, really. That's why I make the video. So, but do tell me what you guys think. Alright. I will be trying several others in the future. They'll probably be coming out. Well, Ben and I have to figure out our time schedules because he and I, it's holidays, so things are getting a little rougher, a little tougher to schedule something. So we're gonna have to figure out some things about when exactly we're gonna have the ability to play again. For instance, this weekend, he's just booked. He's just booked. There's nothing you can do. I mean, he's booked up, and so we might be playing during the weekdays or something like that. But Ben and I will talk about it, figure that out later. But again, so if you guys have any ideas, keep sending them in. I do like it. I have several of your versions of the Ackbar lists on here, and I welcome many more. So just keep on trying, keep on thinking. I prefer, if we can, to keep the MC-80 command cruiser. I know why it's not good with Ackbar and Home 1. And again, I know why some people don't think it's a good idea, but I would prefer to do that if we can. And if we can't, then go with the assault cruiser. Go with Defiance. But Ackbar has to be in there, of course, because that's the main thing I'm doing this for. He's my commander. You can do that. And like many people who have sent me lists have said they're sorry that they had to take out the drunken party bus. Thanks, guys. The drunken party bus really appreciates they're really happy that you guys are thinking of them. That's all right. They're taking some R&R back there at a beach somewhere on some planet and enjoying some free drinks. We don't have to worry about being fired at by an SSD and running in front of it. But but no, really. If you guys think of anything else, maybe think, hey, you don't need a GR75. Maybe you need something else. What about these other missions? What about these other squadrons? Ships, whatever. But let's try to keep it to Ackbar has to be in there. You'll probably see there's a couple MC-80s, command cruisers, and Home 1 Ackbars that are coming out that I do have. that people have sent in that I will be using. And then I'm going to be trying, or maybe even switching out, to the assault cruiser. And with some amount of defiance on it too, in fact. So, again, thank you again, Benjamin. It has been an honor to fly this. It's been a lot of fun. And to everybody else there, everybody, it was a great time. And thank you for all your good feedback. Constructive criticism is always welcome. So, everybody, thanks again. Dismissed.